Naps. I take so many naps on set. I was gonna take one before actually coming here.
Welcome back to Heart and Soul. It's your girl, Katie, and this is the show where we're going up close and personal with the cast of Attaway General Season 2. Now, this week, we're talking about anxiety and mental health. Have you guys ever had a panic attack before? I certainly have, and it's not fun. Dr. Scott and the gang are gonna give you all their tips and tricks on how to manage your mental health, so let's get into it.
I have the worst anxiety on the planet. I can literally just be like sitting in my room alone and I'll just have a full-blown panic attack. I guess that was just how I'm built. Everything makes me anxious.
I don't really have anxiety. Like, I'll have mental breakdowns here and there, but I don't have anxiety like in public or anything. Either me crying or just me just like laying in bed like, bruh, this sucks. Because it will pass. Like I said, it's not gonna matter a month from now.
I have dealt and felt all the anxietiness. I didn't know what I was thinking was anxiety. Like, it took me like to go to an actual mental health professional for them to like tell me like, okay, yeah, these thoughts. For a while, it's like I didn't know. I just thought this was normal. I was like, oh, I'm not supposed to be worrying about everything every second of the day. Honestly, my biggest thing with anxiety is just, if you do have the ability to do so, is to seek professional mentors, people who you can receive help from, guidance, psychiatrists, therapists, anything, you know what I mean? Because these people are in their line of work and they hopefully, you know, if they're good, they know what they're doing.
I have definitely suffered from anxiety, whether it be with schoolwork or just like being healthy and like trying not to stay sick. It has definitely like been throughout my life, especially when I started like getting into like the business. School definitely became like a little bit stressful because I didn't have as much time as everyone like in public school, like either doing like sports that wasn't traveling or anything. It was definitely harder for me to do my work because I have been traveling, doing dancing for like since the age of like 9.
A lot of parents actually kind of miss the signs of anxiety and can kind of overlook the fact that it can be a significant thing in children. That can really drive a lot of their behavior, can drive a lot of things that they do in their everyday life. And so I think it is very important for parents to keep that in mind and, you know, providing whatever support they need, counselors, anything else that their kids need to help kind of get through some of these struggles, I think are definitely important to use.
Yeah, no, I definitely get anxious a lot. I get like anxious, I have like really bad OCD, but like I get anxious because of that, and I'll have like panic attacks because of my OCD. My favorite thing is meditation. I definitely like will sit there and just like breathe. That's like a big one, just breathe, because a lot of time like when you're in those like high like anxious settings, you're just like you're just working yourself up and you're very overwhelmed, you're just working yourself up. So just taking that moment to breathe and like putting your mind in like a calm state where you're like, okay, I'm okay. Like, I'm not like in any physical danger right now. I'm not in any harm. Unless you're in physical danger, then you gotta go find some help. But if you're not in any physical danger, just like know you're okay and like have your body realize that too, because a lot of times your mind's like psyching yourself out.
Personally, I do not really suffer with like anxiety. Obviously, I have had little panic attacks, which gets me really, you know, it's nerve-wracking like having those, because you're just like going, and like that's part of the overthinking thing, you know. It just gives me a lot of anxiety to overthink. But I do have people near me that have anxiety a lot, and it's hard to see them struggle with it because it's not really in your control. Almost there's things you can do to like help it slow down or like prevent it, but it just kind of happens. It's like in your mind and your body, and it sucks. It's scary, but you always get through it.
Sometimes I'll just like take a super hot shower, like sit in a hot tub. That's the only thing that can really calm me down. I also use candles, and I love essential oils and like eucalyptus and all of that. Ramen. I'm not even joking. For some reason, when I have anxiety, all I crave is ramen, and I'll just eat a ton of ramen, and that helps too.
Get a lot of sleep, because sleeping does definitely help you like relax and get rid of like everything in your body. Just helps you like whew. And then taking a deep breath right then and there when you're being stressed. So just be like, breathe in and then breathe out and like let it all go. And just you could do that a couple times, or if once is good for you.
When we see kids that are having panic attacks, it activates something called the fight or flight response. Now that makes you feel like you're being chased by a bear, you're running as fast as you can.
Panic attack is where, oh God, I don't know, my whole body starts to shake, and then I hyperventilate and I pass out. Because I'll have like an anxiety attack for like literally, I had an anxiety attack last month for like 3 days. Like, it would not go away. It was the most painful thing I've ever been through. It sucked, and I just sat in a hot tub and my whole body was like wrinkled.
Important things to do when you're having this: take deep breaths. Try and center yourself, focus, bring yourself back down to zero. Those are the most important things you can do in the moment.
I do meditate every night almost, just before I go to bed. Like, it's like a end of the day meditation. I like the guided ones where they tell you things, and I can just lay there and listen to it, and I always fall asleep to them like very fast. If I have trouble falling asleep or things, I listen to like light thunderstorms.
I don't really think there's any way I can prevent it. Like, if it happens, it happens. And if it does, I just I don't ever change up how I deal with it, because I know it works. The way I deal with it, just let it go. Yeah, there's no real preventing it for me. It's just kind of being okay with it, letting it happen.
But also another thing that is helping me with anxiety, which I think we should all be talking about, is medication, baby, because literally I think everyone likes to put like a little stigma that, oh, if you're taking meds, that you are like some type of crazy person, but that's not the case at all. You know what I mean? Like, if you're clearly lacking in what your brain needs, if you need it, you need it. And you know what? When I started taking medication, I realized how many other people were also on medication. It's just like, oh my God, like a whole new world kind of opens up. You're like, you're on medicine too? We both take the same milligram? Like, what?
So I think in the past there had been more of a taboo on people seeking help and seeking medications to help with their anxiety, depression. Luckily nowadays that's kind of come down a little bit, and I think people are more understanding of reaching out for help, of seeking a therapist, of getting on medication to help. And it's not something that's permanent too, is what I always tell people. Just because you need to go on it now doesn't mean your emotions won't change later. You get through kind of this low spot in your life, and you make it through, and you come out stronger, and you don't need to be on them in the future. And it gets more of a work in progress, as we all are.
Don't think it's a bad thing going to therapy and like saying you do. It's honestly a good thing, and I applaud anyone who does, because some people find talking to strangers is easier than talking to someone they know.
Now, of course, medication isn't for everyone, but there are, of course, a lot of other alternatives if you want to be seeking some aid regarding your anxiety. Pick up a hobby, pick up something you like doing. Let it be hiking, let it be running, walking, preferably like a physical something, so like you actually get up and do it, you know? I mean, you could read too, but I mean, you're still sitting there. So like, get up, go out in the sun, like sunbathe, garden, call up a friend, talk about it. I think my anxiety gets bigger when I don't talk about it.
I do affirmations every morning, just because I think that's really good for yourself, to remind yourself that you're loved, you know, you're amazing, you're beautiful, and you're wanted, and people care for you. Things like that, just whatever you think positive about yourself. I think that's always good to start the day, because if you're not feeling good with yourself, there's no way you're going to be able to give positive energy to other people.
Oh, I think, yeah, those affirmation meditation things, I think they definitely work. I don't necessarily follow them, but I would like to. My family's from Thailand, so my uncle was Buddhist at a point, and he's like an amazing guy. I try to just keep myself happy by doing the things I like to do.
Affirmations don't really work for me, but it works for some people, so if it works for you, it works for you.
A lot of the time during set, I feel like I get really stressed with other things I have to do, because like my whole days consist of, you know, filming from the morning till like 6 filming. I usually just like kind of write down things I have to do and make a list, so it takes a lot of the stress off me after I'm done filming, and like I know what I have time for, what I'm gonna do, and things that I need to get done and prioritize, because I feel like it's really easy to have a lot of things to do like after set, like later on tonight. You know, you're just tired from set, so you forget everything. Like with my managers, I have some things like promos to done as soon as I get home.
Writing everything down. Like when I have jobs to do, she gets on time and she's like, McKenzie, you cannot remember to do your jobs unless you write it down. So McKenzie, write down everything right here and now. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. And so I do it, and actually it really does help like figure out, okay, if I have to do this, then I can do this between this and that time, and this between that and that time. So it definitely helps a lot.
Naps. I take so many naps on set. I was gonna take one before actually coming here.
I actually bring a couple of my crystals with me. So in my trailer, I will like sit there and I will meditate with my crystals. I'll like lay down for my crystals on like my chakra points, and I'll just lay there and meditate and just like play like really like soothing music, kind of be calm, like, and be with myself, because that's like really important, is to know that, you know, as yourself, like without other people around, that you're still yourself, you're still you, and that you're like whole by yourself, and that you don't need other people to feel whole, and you don't need other people to be yourself. And so that's really important for me, is just have that moment where I'm just like, okay, like this is me, this is how I am.
For people out there who are feeling kind of lost and stressed or anxious, I feel like just having someone to talk to, whether it's like a parent or a peer, even a teacher, for me, that's the best way to relieve your stress, because people will empathize with you and it just makes you feel so much better.
Talking to a friend also helps you relax. If it's a good friend and someone that could who's always there for you, just talking to them and telling them what's going on, or a family member, or someone just you can trust, like a guardian and everything, talking to them and just telling them what's bothering you and what's happening in your life, that could help too. It has helped me talking to my mom, because that's who I talk to mostly. So
Just remember at the end of the day that your anxiety does not make you. It is just your thoughts, it's your mind. I know it sometimes feels like it, but remember that you are so much more than those evil little thoughts that try to break you down.
All right, that should do it, you guys. Thank you so much for following along. Make sure to leave a comment down below and let us know what you're thinking of the series, and also let us know if you have any questions for the cast. We'll see you next time.